Rising, and welcome to Monday Morning Mindfulness. Happy Memorial Day weekend to you and yours and to your family. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing the joy of being able to even celebrate a holiday weekend as we are reminded that those who came before us to make our way possible. We got to keep them top of mind. And we're going to talk about that on the Female Solution. But today we are discussing, are you satisfied with your children's education? Kids, your grandchildren, your nieces and nephews, the whole school system. Well, not everyone has the luxury of getting a quality education. And that's what we're going to talk about and how we can change that. And I'll be joined by a fascinating sister I met at the Westside Ministers Coalition monthly networking meeting. And she has such a wealth of information that I didn't know about it. So I got to share it with you. And that's what the Female Solution is all about. We have the solutions to all of the ills in society. So let's take advantage of it. And we're going to start with the Female Solution on Monday Morning Mindfulness with Michilla Blaise. And she'll be joining us shortly. But first, in case you don't know what the Female Solution is, let me introduce you to it.
Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the Female Solution.
If you're like most small businesses, despite your hard work and rave reviews, you struggle to find new customers or ways to grow your business. Accessing goods and services at the right price is also a challenge. But it doesn't have to be that way. Meet iTex, the small business trading community. As the largest barter network in the country, we help businesses like yours find new customers and grow their bottom line and find advertising directed towards local families, which he pays for with, you guessed it. When you join iTex, you get access to valuable products and services in hundreds of categories, and we help you along the way with advertising, multiple directory listings, email blasts, trade director assistance, our convenient 24/7 iTex mobile app, and online access on itex.com today by visiting our website or email info@itex.com.
And if you are a business owner or entrepreneur and you do not have iTex, you are throwing money away. And our motto is pay attention or pay cash. I don't know about you, but I'd rather pay attention because I don't like paying cash when I don't have to. So today's show is sponsored by chicago.itex.com. If you're a business owner or entrepreneur and you've got products or services to sell and you are not a member of iTex, you are missing out because you can go to any store on the planet. And chicago.itex has the same thing. Anything you can think of. We bought everything you can think of. Cars, well, not a house, but stuff for the house. How about that? Cars, equipment, camera equipment, you name it. Anyway, go to chicago.itex.com and get your $100 to go shopping immediately by using the code word ZELDA, ZELDA. And that way you can get $100. Just mention my name, get $100. How cool is that? Well, bet you can't do that at no other store. Okay, I'm just saying. As we salute those who came before us, we are reminded that we are not in this struggle alone. So let me give you the word of the day that will remind you that you are not alone, because the word comes from the ancestors. Baby, I didn't write this book. I just listened. Inspirational Conversations, my very first book, published in 1997. Clip that, y'all. When we were kids, when we used to hear the 1700, the 1600, we were like, oh, good. They were old. It's like, okay, the 1900s. Yeah, maybe you was born in the 1900s. Okay, I digress. Anyway, today is taken from even though it's not the 28th, it's the message that the Spirit gave me, so I'm giving it to you. It says, don't let this day pass without saluting those who came before you that have made your way smooth thus far. Toast your champagne, excuse me, toast your champagne or your apple juice or your water in in honor of the waymakers. Don't let your tofu or your barbecue digest without stopping, if only for a minute, to pay homage. Someone paved the way for you. Won't you extend the same courtesy? And that is your Monday morning mindfulness word of the day. Clip that. Yes, sir. And before we move forward, we got a little water here. We got to go pay homage to those who came before us. Because without them, baby, ooh, and we go, you think we going through it now? Ooh, you ain't seen nothing yet. Yes, I'm drinking coat throat this morning. And right after I have my hot tea in the morning. Anyway, here's a little dirt. We give salute to those who came before us to make our way possible. You know, find yourself some dirt today. You outside barbecuing, so you might as well go out there and take your shoes off, take your socks off, stick your feet in the dirt, and give thanks to the ancestors. Well, because, you know, they like a little water too. So we're going to get him a little water. We give thanks for the Pitchford family, the Robinson family. Ashe, Ashe. Thank you for being here this morning and reminding us of our greatness as we give thanks. And so it is. Ashe. Because without you, mommy and granddaddy and Aunt Edna and Aunt Julie, where would I be without y'all? I don't know. Don't answer that. I don't even want to know. But in the meantime, in between time, we're going to get a little lemongrass. You know, we always like our little herbs in the morning. This little lemongrass for you. See that? And you'll need but a drop. One drop. Just one. Just one. Come on now. Just one. All right. Just one, because it's very potent. And don't believe nothing I say. Just take the lemongrass or whatever herb you have, essential oil, and rub it. Because we are still paying homage to the ancestors. And I simply inhale. Ooh, and baby, you feel a calm come on your whole body. Ooh, and it just make you want to move those joints and those, just move them around in a circle. And yeah, there you go. Bring them hands over your head and clap, quick lymphatic adjustment this morning, because we need to let it flow. We've been asleep all night and stuff need to be flowing. So we just gonna wake it up, pat in the shoulders and the hips and the thighs and the legs and the knees. Run in place for a hot minute and go. Bam, clip that. Here we go. Inhale and exhale. Now, you know, I would go a little further with it, but I got a dynamite sister on the line, so we can come back and do a little breathing at the end, because I don't want to take up any more of your time, because you've been waiting on this sister just like I have. But first, let me tell you a little bit about this sister, because she a bad mamma jamma. She ain't just somebody else. You just need to know that. So I'm going, yeah, I had to get rid of that. Okay, I'm going to pull up our blog, which is HLN Daily News, but it says tumblr.com higher learning TV show. So when you see that, you'll know you're at the right place. So I want to just share with you just a little bit about this dynamite sister, because she deserves her flowers while she is still here, and I want to give them to her. Because I'm sorry, let me back up. We sometimes wait until they have left us, and we don't want to do that here. We want to give our flowers while they are still living. There she is with her beautiful self. And I know I got the name right. If I didn't, I know she'll correct me. Michilla Blaise on Monday Morning Mindfulness. Who is she? Well, I asked the question, are your children getting the education and resources they need? If not, why not? And what are you doing about it? Well, here's a sister who refuses to accept mediocrity. So let me tell you just a little bit about her. Michilla Blaise is a Chicago Public Schools Board of Education member for District 5B on the west side of Chicago. Aside from being an active parent, Michilla Blaise is the 16th District Cook County Commissioner's Office Chief of Staff. Did you know that? As advisor for the Good Government and Integrity PAC, Blase continues her campaign for justice reform. Previously, she volunteered as board secretary for the Westside Justice Center and as a board commissioner for Northwest Home Equity Assurance Program. Her years as a board member for Grassroots Curriculum Task Force solidified her understanding that an educational system is just as relevant to our children's learning as the materials taught in schools. Blase began in public service in 2007 as a staff member for an alderperson, Helen Schiller. And following the alderwoman's retirement, she ran her own political consulting firm, Blase and Associates, helping many progressive candidates and issues get the attention they deserve. I was so surprisingly happy to see that, to hear that, because I had no idea that even existed. Did you? Okay, I digress. As a board member for District 5B, Blase was appointed founding member and co-chair of the Black Student Achievement Committee, which will seek parity and peace for Black students in CPS. Lord knows we need it. She has successfully lobbied Springfield and the city of Chicago for additional resources for CPS, with the Illinois legislature giving an additional, are you ready for this? 300 million and 520 520 million respectively. She has visited over 40 schools and connected those principals with central office in order to secure school improvement. Blase was key to the appointment of the West Side's very own Dr. Macquillan King as CEO of CPS and began her own committee to reimagine the abandoned schools of Chicago still in the CPS portfolio. That's what I'm talking about. She is known as she or her, and her name is pronounced, and I hope I got it right, Michilla Blaise. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for a simply phenomenal sister. And she is right here on the Female Solution. Grand Rising, my sister.
Good morning. Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. Girl, I was reading your information. I was like, who? That's who I met? Oh, yeah, she got to hurry up, get on here. I got to find her. Oh my goodness. I never knew. I'm sorry. Welcome to the podium. I'm just so excited.
Thank you for having me on your show. I'm honored to be here. Thank you so much.
I am honored to have you here. You are unique, divine, one of a kind. You are you have been sent to us from the ancestors. I can feel it. I can feel the spirit of the work that what you are doing, girl. I feel it all up in here. And the ancestors, yeah, said, bring her on, child. Let her do what she do. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
I'm here to work. I'm here to serve.
We got comments already. Good morning, people. Yes, that's Dr. Diane Body. Yes, she was there. She's one of another phenomenal women that I met at the Westside Ministers Coalition. See,
it's such a great group there. We do have a good time.
And I saw it online, and that's how I became involved. And I was like, oh, yeah, they're doing things. I need to be a part of that. I need to help get the word out. So what? Because there's so much chaos and confusion all over the world, not only in Chicago, but and peace and blessings and prayers for those who are going through it in Iran and Gaza and just the Middle East and California and Hawaii, this whole world. So let's just give 10 seconds of quiet time and let's just breathe through that and pray for those who are under the gun, so to speak. Let's inhale. We give thanks for peace in this chaotic world and help those who need help to be helped and to be loved and to be surrounded by the light of the ancestors, to keep them, to guide them, to guard them and direct them, as we are directed today by Michilla Blaise. And so it is. We give thanks. Ashe,
Ashe.
because somebody somewhere would love to do the work that you're doing and they don't have a clue. How did you? Yeah, because I mean, your resume, your bio is so full. It's like, God, when does this lady sleep?
And it really has been just answering the call. I wouldn't say it's a direction. I When I went to college, I wasn't sure what I was going to be, and sort of one thing has led to another thing, has led to another thing, and I'm just answering the call. I'll be honest with you.
How hard has that been answering the call?
Oh, so often it's the path. So I'm already there. I'm already on the way before I even realize I'm there to a
Oh,
certain extent.
okay.
Um, but there's challenges, there's tough times, and in any calling, in any life. It's not all roses, but okay, so let's talk about the school board, shall we?
Yes, ma'am.
Um, it is 100% volunteer job, right? There's no compensation for it. You have to be passionate about it. Um, it's it, for me, it's where you leave your most prized possession, your children,
Mm,
every day. Is what I feel the urgency and poignancy of the fact that I'm entrusted with, where some in some cases, people spend more time in school than they do other places, right? In their
mhm,
homes, because you're running around or you're asleep or whatever. So I feel that, and I feel very fortunate to be able to be a part of that conversation and to bring forward the voices in my community and the voices that um, of folks that I reach out to, that reach out to me, and even for example, the Westside Ministers Coalition. I get a lot of information from folks there, and
mhm,
the folks there are ready to share
mhm,
if they want something, if they need something, or and even just in our conversations, they share gems, and it's got me thinking of different ways that I can be helpful. But yes, when this Chicago has an elected school board. Right now, we have a hybrid school board. But as of November 3rd, we will have a fully elected school board. When I heard that that seat was going to be available, I really thought, because of the government experience I had, that I really had something special to bring to the table.
mm,
Um, I'm a parent of CPS students. So I've been K through. My oldest is now is is going to be a senior this year, this next year coming up.
uh-oh,
Um, so I've gone all the way around. I've had, I think they had four different principals when in grammar school. I've had one fabulous principal for both of them in high school at Kenwood Academy.
mm,
Um, and so I felt like my experience in government could help me bring some knowledge and experience to this brand new school board that they were putting together.
mm,
Brand new elected officials and appointed officials. Um, and we're, even just as a unit, we're still getting our feet under us. We still don't have our committees set up.
ooh,
I know it's a lot of work. This is a whole new reimagining of what the Chicago Public Schools Board of Education can look like,
mm,
and so I was excited to be a part, of the inaugural group, and I think my voice is very important just because of the community I bring with me and
mhm,
the experience that I have in just how boards work, um, making sure that um, all resources are brought to the table.
Resources, say that. Yes.
Um,
Yes, ma'am.
I worked for the city of Chicago. I worked for Cook County. I've got lots of experience downstate as well. And those are the folks with our money. The state
Mm, mm.
pays our um, pays in for our schools. The county actually brings the tax money to us, and the city of Chicago. Last year, we were able to secure a record TIF surplus that brought $520 million to
I
CPS.
saw that. I
Mhm.
read that in the bio. I was like, did she say $520 million? Yeah,
$520 million.
$300 million and $520 million. Who does that? Michilla Blaise does that. Yes,
Okay,
she
okay.
does.
So the last name is Blaise.
Blaise. I said Blaise. I'm sorry. I
Yes.
said, but
It's
did I
okay.
get the first one right?
Yes, you did, and that's usually the tough one for everybody. So you still got a gold star on your chart. It is
Okay.
Michilla Blaise.
Okay.
But CPS is a $10 billion organization. And
There
we
is no way that we should not have what we need. We're gonna talk about that. So y'all, I need y'all
talk about it.
to send that message because we had to take a break. I'm already 5 minutes late, but that's okay. We was getting to the good. Now we're gonna get to the good. So
Yeah.
y'all hold on. We're gonna be right back. But let me tell you right quick, if you like to have your business promoted on the Female Solution Radio Show over 20 times this week, inbox naima.thefemalesolution@gmail.com or go to thefemalesolution.com and click on advertising, and you will be glad you did because we get the message out for you right here on the Female Solution, and we'll be right back.
Great day. It's your girl Asada here to introduce a new Female Solution show called Asada Says. That's right. Every month we're going to talk about everything I am, from cryptocurrency and financial security to good health and parenting strategies. Come on and talk with me every Tuesday morning from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. And let's do that thing the way Asada says it should be done. See you then. Peace, right here on the Female Solution.
You can also check her out at 5 p.m. when she gives the cryptocurrency education, baby, because we need to be educated. Okay, be right back.
watching the Michilla Blaise podcast training on the Higher Learning Network. Yeah.
Fabulous students from the Michilla Blaise International Charter School, where we teach podcast training, but we have a new project coming up where we're trying to teach them how to write with pen and paper, because they don't do that no more in the public schools. I'm like, how you gonna have children that don't even know how to sign a check? Oh, they're gonna do it with a thumb. Oh, no. I'm sorry, I digress. But our children are our future, and you are legislative. You know these things. So with all that money in the school, they don't know how to write. Come on now. I'm sorry.
Well, it seems that number seems like a high number. However, according to the state, some years back, pulled together a whole slew of brilliant educators and legislators, and they came up with a statewide funding formula. So that brings in all the factors and determines how much different school districts should get um, based on the cost of living in that town, based on how much it costs to educate a child. And it turns out that based on their own funding formula, CPS is short $1.3 billion. Based on their own funding formula from the state. So we have been, they have been increasing their commitment to CPS, and it's not just CPS, right? It's a statewide formula. So it's all the school districts in the state are underfunded at this point. And they have a plan to get to fully funding schools by 2035. But my argument and or my mission is to make sure that they understand we need that money as soon as possible. CPS, if you look at the history of CPS, it's always been underfunded. It wasn't where legislators sent their children to school.
Okay.
Let's be very honest. That's where those people went to school.
Mm-hmm.
And CPS has always sort of fallen short. It was always a bargaining chip when Chicago leadership were doing one thing and another. But currently we are short funding, but we got to make do with what we have. We have to push for more money, which is, personally as a board member, I take that job very seriously. And some people don't like it. Some people feel like CPS gets plenty of money. Y'all need to spend it better. You can feel that way. I see the cuts that CPS has made, even just over the last 2 years that I've been on board.
Cuts like what?
So whenever the budget is short, things get cut. We try to stay away from cutting classrooms, actual impact in the classroom. But what got cut last year, quiet is kept, were safe passage workers. And I'm sure you've seen them. They're outside of schools.
Yes.
They cut 100 safe passage workers and they cut 400 SICAs. Now, the SICAs are there to help be an extra set of hands for the special education students.
No.
So when you see those kind of cuts, you realize you have to have a strong voice on the school board. Because again, we are facing additional cuts. The state is facing cuts. The federal government is not very supportive of our local government right now.
At all.
And quite frankly, I feel like we're under attack. So aside from being classically underfunded, we are looking at potential budget cuts coming from the federal level that are that we've got to rally against, as far as I'm concerned. And that's what we're doing. We're trying to keep the classroom safe, but also being fiscally responsible, and being guardians and representatives of our districts. On the west side, I'm scared they're gonna want to close schools. We're having those conversations. So we got to get to a balanced budget, but we have to make sure that it's not done on the backs of communities that need more support and not less.
Our children have always been the target. Now, when you say community engagement, because parents, grandmas, big mama, auntie, uncle, we are all involved in our children's lives, and we know that walking them to school is safe passage. But beyond walking them to school, how can parents aunties and uncles and community organizations get involved so you don't and your team don't have this great big old horse bear on your back to help you when you go into those meetings so you can dive in when you got full and reinforcement on your back. How does that happen?
So the easiest way, now that we're walking towards a fully elected school board, is to get familiar with some of the candidates in the race near you.
Oh,
There's now 20 elected school board members, and that are regional, right, in different districts. And there's also a president of the Board of Education that everyone is going to be able to vote on. So get information about your school board candidates. Make sure that the person who's representing you and representing your area is representing you and your voice. I always say showing up on election day is great, but you got to make sure that you scroll down. You got to work that whole ballot.
mm-hmm.
Make sure that you know the judges that are on that ballot too.
Mm-hmm.
The top of the ticket gets a lot of attention. The governor will be on there and so forth. But scroll down, check with your legal bar associations to get some judges, but also check, stay in the conversation about who these school board members are. Also, you've got your local school council. And those are very invested parents and educators. You've got your CACs, the community action councils that are amazingly they have a great deal of impact for our long-term goals. But you've got everybody comes down to the Board of Ed from time to time to have a word with us. So you have your labor unions, you have CTU, you have SEIU, you have all sorts of folks, parents, every walk of life comes through that school board, and you can always now also call your current representatives and make sure that they know what's going on. But I would just tell parents, keep an ear out. Due to the elections, a lot of our movements are now news. I don't think what was always going on in the school board was that much, people were paying that much attention to it. But now it's all very, very much spotlighted and highlighted. So keep an eye on what your representative is doing and make sure that they're carrying the information that you want them to carry with them onto that school board.
Now, we got to take another break right quick. But when we come back, I want you to talk to the parent who is working 2-3 jobs and just cannot attend a meeting. What are some of the ways that they can still be involved? And when we come back, you're going to answer that for us. And we'll take another break and we'll be right back. And share this video because this is a powerful moment for those who cannot they working 2-3, they just can't beat it. So stay close and we'll be right back and share this video with them.
Is Monday morning a struggle to get out of bed into the swing of things? Well, don't worry, you are not alone. Join us for thought-provoking, stimulating, and mindful conversations on higher learning with Zelda Speaks for your Monday morning mindfulness session on Blog Talk Radio, The Female Solution, Mondays, 7 until 9 a.m. Be sure and send your ideas, thoughts, comments, and suggestions. Also, if you'd like to be a guest on the show, visit zeldaspeaks.com and send us your info. We'd love to have you. Experience mindfulness moments with the mindfulness/stress relief coach, Zelda Speaks. And thanks for sharing the mindfulness moment tip of the day. Stay on purpose, stay empowered, and stay tuned to your next session of Mindfulness on Higher Learning with Zelda Speaks. Make it a mindful day. And thanks for listening.
airs Tuesdays at 6, Wednesdays at 1, and 24/7 on the World Wide Web on all social media platforms and Higher Learning TV show. And we are back with Michilla Blaise, and we are discussing what we can do for your children so they don't wind up out here homeless. As you see, some of the work here that we do on the Female Solution on the Higher Learning Network TV show. Shout out to
Chicago. Because of you, we got a hot meal for folks today, and we can pass it out. To our first stop, right here, underground. Get them some water and some hand sanitizer. A snack. Thank you.
Thank you, EAA Chicago. Because of you, we can give out food. We can do the work that we have been instructed to do by the ancestors and the creators. And if you go to our YouTube page, Higher Learning Network, well, actually Higher Learning TV show, you'll see all of the work that we do there. And we continue to do the work because that's what the ancestors said do. So that's what we doing. People say, Zelda, why do you go out there and put yourself in danger by trying to help feed other people? Because there's a lot of crazy folks out here. Mentally challenged folks out here. We all mentally challenged. I know I'm mentally challenged, but the only difference is, okay, I'm not on the street. But because I have been homeless, I understand. So if you can find it in your heart, those who are watching, share this video. That's what those ebooks that I wrote about, so I could give people something for what they give us, whether it's food or snacks or clothes, because they always need blankets, jackets, and feminine stuff for the ladies. So please keep that in mind in your giving. And if you want to give, it's tax deductible, and the information is scrolling below. And we did not go out this weekend because we went Wednesday, but we'll be going again later on today, because it's nice to know that you're loved and cared for, even by people who don't know you. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Because you're a blessing. It is what you were up. You had me up at 6 o'clock in the morning on Memorial Day weekend. We are here to just bring the word to people. You were working all weekend, making sure that we were all set up. When the service calls, you're there. You answered the call, and working with our unhoused population is critical. They are so often the folks that are left behind. And there's so many children in CPS that are unhoused. Yes, they don't even know that they're homeless because they're living in someone else's house. Some family is taking that. But so often, I was talking to a person who was a principal, and they were talking about how behavioral issues start to go up around the holiday season. Yes. Because those kids are feeling the pull or the emptiness of being unhoused, as particularly on the holidays.
The lack of a family unit. Yes, ma'am.
Or being separated from family for a variety of reasons around the holidays.
Or being in a family where you don't want to be touched.
That's right.
So I'd rather be on the street where people don't know me so they don't touch me. I've had that experience because feeding these people, I had no idea that this was going on with children on the street. That's why they're on the street. Like, girl, you 17 years old and you 15. Why are you all out here on the street? Ms. Zelda, I can't go home. Then, I have a little sidebar with them. And I was like, really? Have you been to the police? She said, DCFS and the police are not here to help. You need to know that. So I said, well, we can have a little chat about it anytime you want to call me. And they call.
Yeah.
So the fact that there are many, many parents who are unable to take care of their children. There are many parents who don't want to take care of the children, but there are parents who are just working. They are bombarded 2 and 3 jobs. They don't have the time to attend these meetings that will help shape the
Yeah.
lives of their children. They don't have the time. What do you say
Mhm.
to them?
So much like your show and much like other opportunity, there are opportunities to catch recordings of things later on. I, so whenever, and typically when I'm having a community meeting, I try for there to be a virtual component just
Mhm.
because I understand it. Um, I have a full-time job, plus this Board of Education business is a whole other full-time job.
Mhm.
Um, and being a parent is a full-time job. So we all have to squeeze in information and even fellowship when and where we can.
Mm.
But there are a lot more resources in CPS than there was when I was growing up.
Mm.
There's more counselors. There's more. I mean, look at the summer jobs program that
Yes.
30,000 kids had employment. Um, there's a lot more. They're all, of course, there can and should be more, but there's a number of after school activities that if you can plug your child into, your all of the you're plugging into your village that can help you, particularly when you are so busy that you can't always plug in directly.
Mhm.
The Chicago Park District has gotten some new programs as well. um, and lean in if you have them. Make sure you're leaning in on your family members and so forth as well. But CPS has a number of social emotional supports, um, and even more so, a component that I like is they're doing a lot more with student voice now. So if you can't be there for your kids can speak up for themselves, um, and really have an impact on policy that's moving forward. Even on the school board, we have a student member of the school board, um, a young woman who is a senior at. Oh,
Really?
yeah, she's great. I'll I can't think of her, of what school she's at, but um, there are student voice committees across the city. There are a number of organizations that are still committed to student voice, like MICVA Challenge and some of
Okay.
the other ones. But try and make sure your kids are plugged in somewhere, particularly if you're a busy parent.
Mhm.
Um, it's what I told my children when they started high school. Well, I have two girls. One started, she got into the band immediately. The second one sort of was just at school, still finding herself a little bit. And my whole thing was, you got to sign up for something. I'm
Okay.
not sure, like we can
Okay.
figure it out. We can figure it out what it's going to be, but you're going to sign up for something. You're going to be a part of your school community. And that investment of time that she's making into her own education is going to pay off in the long run on her college applications and um and in her relationships at school and how connected she feels with the school as well. So
Yeah, it's important that they do feel connected because a lot of times there's not a whole lot of love or connection at home. So yeah, they're aware of that social and emotional impact. I
yeah.
want you, I want you to touch on that a little bit after we take these comments and get our next break because it'll be time for it. Dr. Lawrence Lenoir says molestation of the body is on the rise while molestation of our children's minds go unnoticed. Wow, what a word. That is not a good place to be. And Dr. Naima Latif, who is the executive producer of the Female Solution, says, is there a phone number to call or a website to contact to find out about the programs for children? Absolutely. And when we come back, I'm going to show another website that they can go to. So y'all just hold on. And we're going to take a last break and we'll be right back. Okay? All righty, stay close. You'll be glad you did, because this is where the information comes on.
My name is Zahra Kadri. I'm the Executive Director from ZAM's Hope Community Resource Center. And you are watching...
Hi, I'm Brandon.
Hi, I'm Aisha.
And you're watching the Base to Best podcast training on the Higher Learning TV show. Season number 9. On all streaming platforms.
Period.
Hi, we're the Productive Edge team, and you're watching the Higher Learning Network.
Here on The Female Solution, I'm your host, and I'm joined by Michilla Blaise, CPS Board of Education member, who is a phenomenal woman that I am just simply honored to be in the company of, because she is fighting for our children. Oops, we got more comments. Let's take a look and see what we got here. Oh, Naima said, is there a phone number? I'm going to pull that up too. And Dr. Body says, nice conversation. Got to go now. Thank you for hanging in there with us, Dr. Body. We greatly appreciate that. I want to pull up the site, if you don't mind. And this is Blaise and Associates, empowering people, community, and causes committed to progress. As the children say, you better recognize. All right now. Is a boutique. Blaise and Associates is a boutique political and consulting strategic solutions and public relations firm based in Chicago. I did not know that. We believe that every good idea deserves a strong advocate with the insight, capacity, and relationships to make it real. We also know that winning ideas cut through geography, race, and gender lines. And they've got a proven track record on a single issue, lobbying, elections, and public opinion campaigns. There's a whole lot more. And they have services here on the messaging and delivery, strategic planning, strategic partnerships, and diversity solutions. So
thank you for the plug. I appreciate you.
girl,
But I want folks to go to cps.edu. There's so much information there, but also don't forget about Chicago Youth Works. That's the jobs program that hopefully everybody over the age of 14 that has time is plugged into. The city of Chicago is also trying to host events for teenagers as well. I'm always thinking teens because that's the age of my children, but there are other resources as well for the younger kids.
Mhm.
But I'm always pushing for additional just social events for teenagers.
Mhm.
This is how we end up with 80, 100 kids walking down the street. Because when we were younger, or when I was younger, there were things that we could do. We could
Right.
go to the lake. We could go even just to the parking lot by the lake, but all of that is roped off. These kids can't go to the mall by themselves. They can't go to, we used to have high school parties. They don't have those, or the high school only allows for students from that school to go to the events. They don't let the cousins and all that, where you're going to this school or that school like it used to be.
Mhm.
We used to have so many more opportunities for socializing. So, I'm hoping, so the mayor has hosted some events for teens to give them stuff to do aside from jobs. Even the the personal stuff, but I want to keep pushing our community leaders when they see misbehavior out of teenagers in the street. Some folks just jump to punitive. We need to lock them up. We need to grab them all off the street. And I want to make sure that people are also mindful that they need something to do. So if you have a community center, if you have access to a gym and can host late night basketball, or even the park district and at certain times is closed, where kids aren't even allowed to sit in the park. So if they don't have anything to do, they're going to find something to do, you know?
Yeah, like the teen takeover.
Right.
When you can go to cps.edu, there's plenty there for you to do. What was that other website that you gave?
Also, just go to City of Chicago, but
okay.
The one that has the jobs is Chicago Youth Works.
Okay.
And you can apply there. I spoke to a woman and she said, my daughter got a job, but I didn't really like that job. So I called them back and they found another position for her kid. Wait a minute. And this is an entitled mom. She was like, it was at an insurance company. You know, I knew that wasn't going to be exciting for my teen. So she called them back again and they found her child yet a third position.
Okay, now you talk about active parent participation.
Right.
My baby ain't doing that. Okay, y'all need to find her something else. Okay, now see, that's participation.
Right.
Ma'am.
Right. And there's always volunteer opportunities. Even with your local elected officials, many of them they do community cleanups, community events. Even if it's an event where you're giving information to other people in the community, volunteering with those organizations, A, keep you in the loop, and B, will also give your youth something to do. There's always room to give out information at tables, or as my kids are getting older, they could do face painting for the younger ones.
And they love that.
Yeah,
I love it.
Little ones.
Walking around with a little heart on your face or a little something.
Yes.
It's cute. You know,
and I love to see the kids taking care of their own communities, learning that from a young age, making sure to come out for your cleanup days, making sure, even if it's just to call 311 when there's garbage in the street or something like that, even just making sure that you are alerting the right officials to the fact that you want a clean community, that you want a community with certain resources in it. You gotta stay in the game and make sure that people hear your voice. And our youth are doing better at that too.
Amen. More conversations, God's word alive. I do believe that is Heidi Lenore. Good morning. This is awesome information to know and to share. Yes, it is. And we know that we can count on you to share because you are God's word alive. And we appreciate that. And she has a show, and I'm sure she'll type it in when God's word alive airs. So if you could put that in there, we'd greatly appreciate that. And we appreciate all of your comments. We appreciate you for taking the time on a day like today when you could be asleep. If
I'm going back to sleep. It was a little too much barbecue and family time last night. I'm going right back to sleep after. You know what? I'm gonna eat some leftovers, some barbecue for breakfast. That's when you know you had a good time.
Barbecue breakfast, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Barbecue for breakfast and go back and close my eyes for a little while.
Okay, so I want to put my pajamas on, get back into bed, give me a little piece of watermelon and binge on something. I don't want to do nothing.
That's it. A little rest.
But that's not gonna happen because I got to do post-production for this show. So but it will be a pleasure as I take a bite of watermelon and do my editing. It's a joy because I love to edit. And it's also a joy to be of service. And I can see that twinkling in your eye because you are doing the work of about 4 or 5 people and you are still here. Yeah. You got a lot on your plate. I don't know how you do it.
Acknowledging it. Thank you.
because it is people like you who show up at the Westside Ministers Coalition monthly networking meeting. That's what I love about it, is that we get the information before it goes out to the public. That's why I always tell people, y'all got to come to the West Side. I know you live on the South Side. Well, Dr. Binion, the president of the organization, she lives out in 200-something street, and she comes because she wants her constituents to know. Shout out to Dr. Binion. Thank you, Dr.
Binion.
For doing the work that she does, because she don't get paid for doing what she doing. Every month shows up and distributes, distributes information to the public. So what do you say on a closing note to those who are watching, especially the parents and the children? What would you say they could do together to mold that, bring that into existence, what they want to see for their family, for their children, for their school, for their life, for their community? Because we got to get involved and stay involved. You take it away.
So it all begins at home. I just want to, we ask so much of our families, and come to meetings and come and do this and sign your kids up for that and do this, but make sure you're taking care of each other first and foremost. And then please do get involved. And if there's something that you think there should be in schools that there isn't, please talk to us. We have a school board member that is really trying to get some of the African languages in the schools, because those are root languages for our youth. And it's not even an option. There's music and arts that we're trying to pull back into schools that has been cut.
Yes, Lord. Yeah, we need the arts back.
We need everybody to feel free, particularly because you have this elected school board. Write those folks an email, even if you're just introducing yourself, even if you don't have anything to say right now. But make sure you're listening as the conversations go on, and because it's campaign season, you're going to hear a whole lot of everything.
Yep.
Make sure you're listening, and make sure you're connecting with your school board members so that they know that you are there and that you have their ear. But also have a safe summer. Summer is always challenging for our youth. Get them signed up for something. And do your best to keep an eye on them. Get those trackers on your kids. But also watch, make sure that your kid has a place that or a person that they can go to and talk to. I make sure there are my children and I have a great relationship, but I make sure that they understand that if there's ever something that they're not comfortable talking with me about, that they have family members that they can go to talk to. I make sure that there's a bridge between my children's friends, parents, and I. So I know they're getting a little old for it, having a sophomore and a junior, but I'm still calling people's parents.
Okay.
I'm still like, well, whose house are you going to?
Yes, ma'am. You need to know what's going on over there.
I need to know what's going on. Who's in that house? What goes on in that house? So I think we all just need to stay connected. Amen. It's so easy to be looking at your phone all day. It's so easy to send a text message and not hear people's voices and hear the urgency or the emotion in what's going on in people's lives. But I pray that we all take time to spend with each other and care for each other, and really stay in tune with each other as much as possible. And we'll get to the right place. We'll get to where we need to be.
And texting and social media is fine, but sometimes pick up a phone call, because there's nothing like the power of the human voice. Know that your granny want to hear from you. Your auntie want to hear from you. Your brother and your sister want to hear from you. And they don't want it from no doggone text. They want to hear your voice. They want to hear the angelic rhythm coming from your throat.
Mm-hmm.
I'll call. If you just say, hey, grandma, I miss you, love you, bye.
Mm-hmm.
That's sufficient too, because that's the word y'all operated in. God's word alive says, good morning. This is awesome information to know and to share. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for caring. Thank you for being here with us. On a closing note, I just got to say this. It has nothing to do with nothing. I shouldn't say that. But I did not know that
But
you
it's
were a political strategist. I'd never heard of a political strategist. We got to
yeah.
have you come back and talk about that because that's important and people need to know why. I was like, oh, so that's why so and so did so and so like that. Oh, so that's what I know just a teeny weeny bit about that from working in radio because you have to have professionals like yourself come on
Yeah.
and give you tips and words and strategies and things of that nature. So
Yeah.
please come back and talk about that because people need to know
Sure
the
will.
strategy behind why they say what they say and the likelihood of them following through. All right, y'all.
That's the key part, right?
Oh,
What they say and what they do, matching those two things up
okay.
is key. I'll
Yeah.
come back and talk politics with you.
Please do. Please
I
do.
promise I
Thank
will.
you
And thank
so
you
much.
so much for the invitation.
Thank
Um,
us, Baba Kwame San,
everybody involved. I
us,
appreciate everyone.
us as in universal spirits. I got that from an elder in his 80s because he would always say at the end of a conversation, he would always say, thank us. I'm like, who do you mean thank us? You and me? We already know. He's like, no, the ancestors, they're always listening and they're right here on your shoulders. All you got to do is get quiet long enough and breathe and just tell them what's going on and they'll help you.
And you are always making sure that we are centered in our breathing, that we remember that our body is an organism that we have to care for and wake up and activate and connect with our breathing. That's one of the first ways that I remember having meeting you was connecting with my breathing. And it was the one part of the meeting that I always look forward to.
Oh,
I could
wonderful.
get up and we
Wonderful.
got to stand up out of our seats. You know, I'm in meetings all day long. Nobody tells me to get up and
Yep.
worries about my lymphatic system
Mhm.
and make sure that I'm okay. So thank
Yes,
you for
ma'am.
always being that person. I appreciate you.
Clip that. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank us, Universal Spirits. Thank you, Baba Kwame Sunhurst. Thank you for all those who came before us to make our way possible. It's been a wonderful day. It's going to be better because we're going to get back in bed and binge today. All right, y'all. Stay on purpose, stay in power. Stay tuned tonight for Heather Bird. Liberation, 7 p.m. right here on the Female Solutions. Stay on purpose, stay in power, stay tuned. You'll be glad you did. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for caring. Love, peace, and hair grease. How about that?
We've come to the end of our show today. If you missed any broadcasts, go to our website for the audio and video archives at www.thefemalesolution.com. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to thank all of you who participated in today's discussions. And to our global family joining us from all around the world, we say thank you. To our family in China, xie xie. India, zhanyavad. Japan, arigato. Korea, kamsamnida. Russia, spasiba. Germany, danke. Poland, dziękuję. France, merci. Spain, gracias. Italy, grazie. Egypt, shukran. Ghana, madasi. Nigeria, eshe. South Africa, Ngiyabonga. Senegal, Jaref. Kenya, Asante. Israel, Toda. Pakistan, Shukriya. Afghanistan, Tashakur. Saudi Arabia and Palestine, Shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Thank you, and may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessings.
Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I got a wonderful feeling. There's a handsome man coming my way. Oh, there is a handsome man coming my way. Hi there. What's your name?
Hi.
What's your name?
Aquarius. My name is Tony. And what I want you to do for me is if you have Xfinity TV, tune in to the Higher Learning Network Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Xfinity TV channel 19. Peace out.